If you want to get in contact with me, the best way to do it is on Instagram. If you just want to say what up, if you want to tell me you love my videos, you can tell me that you hate my videos, but the best way to do that is on Instagram. Peace, y'all. Johnny Fastlane here. So, Snoop Dogg says Eminem is not a top 10 rapper. Plus, T.I. wants Jeezy to squash his beef with Gucci Mane. Let's talk hip-hop. Alright, yo, this is crazy, right? Because Snoop Dogg did an interview with The Breakfast Club, right? Well, really just Charlamagne and DJ Envy, right? And the whole situation is that Snoop started talking about how great of a producer Dr. Dre is, right? Starts giving Dr. Dre his flowers. Yo, Dr. Dre is the shit. Dr. Dre's sound is amazing. Dr. Dre is so good that he could take some random ass white rapper and make him the hottest thing in hip hop, right? Charlamagne was like, come again? So what you're saying is that Eminem is not a great rapper? Snoop was like, listen, I think Eminem is a good rapper. He could rap and everything like that, but he's not in my top 10. And he was saying that before Eminem came out, nobody gave a damn about white rappers at all. And the only reason why people mess with him is because of Dr. Dre's production, right? Which is crazy. And then he started rambling off names of a whole bunch of other rappers that are way better. Rakim, Big Daddy Kane, Ice Cube. He was like going in. It was crazy. Envy was like, oh word, so Eminem's not in your top 10, so who is, right? And Snoop had a bunch of names that he was ready to call out that really are in his top 10, right? And I mean, like, yo, shout out to Snoop for like being a real ass nigga, because on some real shit, you know, Snoop is down with Dr. Dre, who's down with Eminem and Ice Cube and Nate Dogg, well, R.I.P. Nate Dogg, but all of them are over there on that side, right? All of them are shady aftermath, basically, or aftermath, not shady, right? The whole situation is, yeah, Snoop ain't signed to Dr. Dre or nothing like that, but that's his man's in him. But for him to say, yo, I don't think Eminem is a great rapper, shows that regardless of his affiliations, Snoop is still gonna always keep it real, right? And that's fucking dope, yo. Let me know what y'all think about this in the comments. So Jeezy was on the last episode of T.I.'s Expeditiously podcast, right? And basically T.I. kind of in a straight up and down just said to Jeezy, is there a way that you can kind of squash your beef with Gucci Mane, right? And it was crazy because basically T.I. was talking about, you know, the Mount Rushmore of trap music and how, yeah, T.I. is there and Jeezy's there, but there's somebody else there too that they're not naming, right? And then he also says, yo, I had to put Gucci Mane's, you know, display in my trap museum because even though we have our issues, I really can't sit here in front like he didn't really do anything for hip hop or for the movement, right? You know, Jeezy and Gucci Mane have beef that stems back to like 15 years ago now when both of them was on So Icy, and there was a dispute. Basically, Jeezy wanted So Icy for his album, Gucci Mane wanted So Icy for his album, so they started arguing over the rights of the song, right? Ultimately, allegedly, one of Jeezy's homeboys went over to Gucci Mane's crib and was like, yo, fuck that, I'm about to shoot this nigga or whatever, right? Turns out, man, that Gucci Mane, self-defense, you know, gunned that nigga down and murdered somebody. And, you know, after that, you know, Gucci Mane didn't go to jail because it was self-defense, and that was that. So then the beef between Gucci Mane and Jeezy started, right? And they could not be in the same room, not in the same songs, not on tour with each other or anything like that, right? And the whole situation is Jeezy didn't only beef with Gucci Mane, he was beefing with Rick Ross too. Him and Rick Ross had beef for probably the last 10 years, right? Until him and Rick Ross finally patched it up, right? And Jeezy just kind of spoke about how, you know, growing up and being mature and how you got to focus on money, and that he respects Rick Ross because Rick Ross is always focused on the money, and that he feels like if he could patch up his beef with Rick Ross, he sure can patch up his beef with Gucci Mane too, right? And this shit is crazy because then it kind of started talking about the versus battles a little bit, and they talked about, like, you know, Rick Ross versus 2 Chainz and all that shit like that. But if Jeezy is kind of saying that he's willing to patch up his beef with Gucci Mane, could there be a Gucci Mane versus Jeezy versus coming, which would be crazy, right? And then, you know, also Jeezy said that he was very close to squashing his beef with Gucci Mane once upon a time, a few years ago, like right before Gucci Mane got locked up. It was Gucci and Jeezy, both of them by themselves in like a sushi restaurant or something like that. But then, you know, Gucci Mane got locked up, so, you know, him and Jeezy lost touch, and then after that, you know, squashing the beef wasn't on the table no more, right? So this is crazy. Definitely a super in-depth conversation. And I'm thinking that, I mean, it would be dope for these two to squash their beef after all this time. And just like, you know, I mean, there's so much money that has been lost because they've been beefing that now the fans need it, right? Let me know what y'all think about this and everything else in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Make sure you hit that notification bell. Follow me at Johnny Fastlane on Instagram, and y'all already know what to do. Peace.